Hello and welcome back to Fanteam Focus. My name is Reese, and coming up in today's show, we're going to be going through 5 ways that Fanteam is different from FPL. So I've reached out to some of the contributors over on the website. If you haven't checked it out already, fanteamfocus.com. The link is in the video description. And we've put together a list of 5 ways that Fanteam is different from FPL, and we'll talk to you about them today and why we think they're important. Do smash a like on the video if you enjoy it at any point. Hit subscribe if you are new. And way number 1 that Fanteam is different from FPL is money, money, money. The Fanteam is all about the money, and in the season-long FPL game, the winner gets 200 grand prize money. Now compare that to FPL, where you get a glass of squash and a couple of custard creams. I think Fanteam is definitely winning in this regard. Even if you come second, you get £75,000, third £50,000, fourth £40,000, and all the way up to 5,000th, you still double your money on the £20 entry fee. This is the main draw that pulls people in from FPL. You can use your fantasy football knowledge to really try and make some cold, hard cash. And one of the ways you can stack the odds in your favor is by utilizing way number 2, which is to enter multiple teams. Now, it's not too late to register for the Fanteam £1 million game. Again, the link is in the video description. You can actually start off on 143 points, which is more points than I've got in my team, I think. And if you enter multiple teams, that is obviously going to double, triple, quadruple your chances of winning that £200,000 first prize. We've actually got the winner of last year's Fanteam £1 million game on the live stream this coming Saturday, so make sure you tune into that. He's an advocate of multiple teams. He did the strategy last year and ultimately won Fanteam with multiple teams. Well, he didn't win it with multiple teams, but you know what I mean. He entered multiple teams and then obviously one of those teams won it. It's different from FPL. You're only allowed 1 team per household, I think it is, or 1 team per family member per household. So it really is encouraged. Look, it's £20 per entry, so the more entries you get, the more money Fanteam is making, and also the more chance you get to make that £200,000 jackpot. So it's not too late to join. You'll start off on 143 points, which is a lot of points, and you'll also have a lot of knowledge going into it. Pop a couple of teams in, try your luck, gamble away, 18+. The third way that Fanteam is different from FPL is basically the rules, right? You don't have as many chips, you only have 2 wildcards. Now, if we click on the rules here, obviously there are some rules which are different to FPL, but what really stood out to me and to the contributors who helped me form this list was the lack of chips, and therefore the slight different strategy that you can use in the game. You're not having to consider bench boosts and free hits, just your 2 wildcards, one of which is played before the game week 20 deadline, and the other which is played between game week 20 and game week 37. I think it's really cool. I think it streamlines the game a lot more, especially if you're playing with multiple teams. Multiple teams with multiple chips, that's just a big headache. I think the 2 wildcard thing is a nice, simple thing to do, but make sure you read the rules before you play. And that brings us on to way number 4, which is the scoring matrix. So although the Fanteam FPL game is very similar to FPL, there are some key scoring differences. And I'll put the graphic up here so you can see some of them. You can see midfielders or forwards that play the full match get an extra point. You can see goalkeepers' save points are slightly different. You get 0.5 points per actual save, whereas in FPL you get 1 point per 3 saves. You get 0.3 points if your team wins while that player is on the pitch, and you also get points for shots on goal from goalkeepers, defenders and midfielders. Conversely, you lose points if your team loses while that player is on the pitch, as well as a couple of other small differences. I think it's really important to know these differences, but it's also really important not to kind of put too much weight on these differences. Is 0.5 for 1 save really that much better than 1 point for 3 saves? I don't think it is, and maybe that's something that I've made a mistake with in my team selection, because I know I've chosen Bachmann over Sanchez, and Bachmann hasn't even made a single save, I don't think, in the season, but Sanchez has already had 1 clean sheet. So I think prioritizing clean sheets, for example, over save points is still the same, but you still need to be aware of these differences. And the 5th way that Fanteam is different from FPL is actually the multiple formats. If you click on the Fanteam website, you can see that there's millions of ways that you could win or lose your money. It is gambling, don't forget, 18 plus gamble away. But you've got the weekly monsters, which is essentially a free hit where players' prices are different every week, and you get stacking penalties if you triple up on a defense, for example. You've got Major League Baseball, other sports. Fanteam is full of fantasy sports betting opportunities, daily fantasy sports, and there are loads and loads of ways that you can gamble using your fantasy football knowledge and trying to make a buck. You've got football from other countries like Russia, Scandinavia, Italy. You really can get lost in it when you're scrolling through, but if you've got the knowledge, or if you think you've got the knowledge, there are loads and loads of ways where you can try and win a bit of cash. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe if you are new. Streams coming out on this channel every Saturday morning, as well as our weekly videos, sometimes focusing on the monster and sometimes on other subjects. Head on over to the website if you haven't checked it out already. Lots of great stuff going on over there. If you want to get involved in Fanteam, and if you haven't already, hit the link in the video description. Don't forget to like, subscribe. See you soon.